related to the British royal family is this idea of a royal reconciliation. And we have some of the top aides having these super secret meetings here in London,
Oh, honey, the whispers about Meghan Markle? They've been floating around for years, but guess what? Tom Bower, that ruthless royal biographer, just cranked the volume all the way up again. And this time, he's dragging us straight back into Meghan's most scandalous rumor ever, her so-called yacht girl lifestyle. Yes, you heard me. At 85, Tom's got nothing to lose, and now he's swinging at Meghan with no gloves on. And let me tell you, he's not holding back. According to him, Meghan's little fairy tale life, all smoke and mirrors, lies, contradictions, cover-ups, you name it. He even went so far as to say her lies could flood the earth. Can you imagine? That's savage. And it doesn't stop there. He's accusing her of playing the poor Diana card to the max and even using her daughter as a shield to distract from her crumbling marriage with Harry. Yes, he actually said it. Meghan, the self-proclaimed victim, suddenly looks like the ultimate manipulator. Bower is literally shredding her carefully built brand to pieces, and the fallout, catastrophic.
Packed, photographed, and every last detail in the Daily Mail. Tom Bower, what was your reaction when you saw those headlines?
I thought it was confection.
Now let's be real. Meghan has spent years trying to shake off those yacht rumors. You know, those whispers about her rubbing elbows with millionaires and celebrities at those fancy yacht parties back in her early acting days. She's always dismissed it all as nothing but slander. But Bower, oh no, he's got a whole other theory. He says the reason these whispers just won't die is because, well, they fit a pattern. According to him, Meghan's Hollywood climb wasn't so much about raw talent, it was about strategy, calculated networking. Using the right men at the right time. Ouch. He's basically saying she didn't just act her way into fame, she maneuvered her way there. And by bringing up the yacht gossip again, Bower isn't just poking fun. He's painting Meghan as someone who leveraged image, opportunity, and connections instead of hard work. And girl, you know that's where it stings the most.
It was manipulation. I thought that it showed, firstly, Harry absolutely desperate. I thought that Meredith Maines, who is a very aggressive PR for the Sussexes.
See, Meghan has always wanted to be remembered as the self-made Hollywood star who made it on her own. But Bower is like, nope. He's reminding the world of whispers that never really went away, and then he goes for the jugular, her obsession with Princess Diana, and oh, it gets messy. He's saying Meghan doesn't just admire Diana, she's obsessed with her. Not as a person, but as a brand. We've all seen it, the clothes, the poses, the staged paparazzi moments, all carefully designed to make her look like the new persecuted princess. But Bower just rips it apart. You can't be Diana. And he's right, Diana was adored because she was real. Meghan, people are seeing the cracks, and instead of authenticity, they see parody.
Got way beyond herself because she really doesn't understand the British royal family or Britain, but understands how to project her clients. And so I think she got it wrong by leaking it, or even letting anyone.
And here's where it gets brutal. Meghan's tribute to Diana, Bower says it looks more like a bad imitation. He even accuses her of spinning so many contradictory stories that, in his words, they could flood the earth. And honestly, he's got receipts. Remember when she said she never Googled Harry, then changed her story about when she first met Charles and the Queen? The inconsistencies are piling up and people aren't ignoring them anymore.
That was a great mistake. And I don't think it'll produce what they hope. And I think in the end, I don't think the Sussexes themselves know what they want anymore. But so
Even that explosive Oprah interview, the one that was supposed to be her big mic drop moment, was filled with contradictions. And it didn't take long for people to start poking holes in it. Bower's point? Simple. If someone keeps reinventing their story, eventually the lies pile up so high, no one believes a word they say. And that's exactly where Meghan is right now. She isn't viewed as authentic anymore. She's being seen as a professional storyteller who rewrites her past whenever it suits her. But hold on, it gets even darker. Because according to Bower, Meghan's marriage with Harry isn't the fairy tale Netflix makes it out to be. Behind the glossy photos and polished documentaries, he says things are fractured, deeply fractured. He even claims Meghan uses little Lilibet as a shield. Yup, pushing her motherhood narrative to draw sympathy, while the cracks in her marriage are hidden behind the curtain. And the message Bower is pushing? Meghan's kids are being used as props in her never-ending PR war. Cold. But that's exactly how he frames it.
We've also seen, haven't we, the story by Vicky Ward in the Victoria Ward in the Telegraph, where they were talking about, you know, and that upset the palace quite a lot about talking about funeral arrangements and things.
And to the public, this doesn't look like a great royal love story anymore. It looks like a fragile business deal. Two people holding on to an image because that's all they've got left. The happily ever after fairy tale? According to Bauer, it's just smoke and mirrors. And oh, when Meghan tried to run back to Hollywood, she thought she'd be embraced as royalty. And at first, sure, there was some excitement, but now that sparkle has completely worn off. Producers whisper about her being difficult. Celebrities avoid her like the plague. Hollywood isn't dazzled anymore. They see her as a liability.
See, and is this about looking like the bigger person? Because he preaches a lot about forgiveness. We heard him talk about open borders. Sometimes he's very kumbaya, and I wonder if he's trying to put his money where his mouth is.
And here's where it really starts to burn. Meghan's Hollywood glow completely fading. Invitations to A-list events drying up. And now, instead of being seen as this glamorous Duchess turned Hollywood queen, she's whispered about as a risk, a liability. And you know what makes it even worse? Those yacht girl rumors won't die down. People still throw her name into the same conversations as Jeffrey Epstein, yacht parties with shady billionaires and mystery connections that just don't sit right. That's the problem. Her entire brand was supposed to be built on talent, independence, and authenticity. But these whispers drag her image into scandal. Instead of aspirational, she looks toxic. Instead of empowering, she looks manufactured. And Tom Bauer, he's loving it, because every single one of these details adds fuel to his fire.
You know, because how can we take him seriously when he's meeting with Ukraine and Trump and trying to make peace as a global leader when he's not even at peace with his son?
Well, I think I disagree with you about that, because Charles, when he was the Prince of Wales,
But wait, because the first half of his revelations, that was just the warm-up. In the second half, he goes even further. He's basically exposing the cracks in Meghan's entire empire, and he points straight at the thing she clings to most: control. According to Bauer, Meghan is obsessed with controlling every single narrative. Remember that Oprah interview? He says she demanded final editing power. And her Netflix series? Crafted to make her look like Diana 2.0. She wants to write every line of her own story.
anyone who said no to him. So he's a man who hates confrontation, and he has no forgiveness for people who don't agree with him. So I think the whole thing with Harry is it's guilt. I mean, it's guilt as a result of the divorce, the relationship.
And beyond just the clothes or the photo ops, Meghan has tried to literally weaponize Diana's legacy as her own. But here's the cold truth. Diana earned the world's love through genuine suffering, and Meghan's copycat strategy has backfired badly. Instead of sympathy, critics laugh at her attempts. Social media drags her staged paparazzi shots. People don't see Diana, they see a performance, and Tom Bauer just cuts right through it. Meghan can never be Diana.
The fact that Harry is rather dim and he didn't look after him to make sure he had a role, but more, it was neglect as well in his teenage years when he was chasing Camilla and all the rest of it.
Club H.
Why? Because Diana was loved. Meghan, at best, she's tolerated. At worst, mocked. It's wild to think about it. In the beginning, Meghan had such a wave of public goodwill. She was hailed as this modern, independent woman, breaking into the royal family and shaking things up. People were rooting for her. But now, polls are showing her popularity has collapsed, both in the UK and in the US.
Yeah. Well,
Because the guy's not trusted.
Rob, when Harry made that dash to London, when the King revealed his cancer, to my surprise, Camilla was in the room for the 30 minutes. And she was there to make absolutely certain that Harry...
That's true.
You don't think she was there?
No. I don't, in fact, I'm pretty certain.
And Bauer argues that this constant stream of contradictions, it's finally caught up with her. From that Oprah sit-down, to the claims about Archie's royal title, to that so-called New York car chase, to the endless lawsuits. Each time, details unraveled. Each time, people's faith in her took another hit.
There's going to be a draw there.
And I think it's interesting because we always say, look at what he did to William and Catherine, and that is very important, and I believe it was cruel. You're suing all of these newspapers for leaking private information while publishing private text.
Even Netflix, the big prize Meghan and Harry were banking on, reportedly isn't so thrilled anymore. The so-called Sussex Empire, it's cooling. Hollywood elites are keeping their distance. Even the royals, they don't even acknowledge her anymore.
Present moment is, I don't think he feels in any way guilty. I don't think Harry feels any remorse. And I think that is the key thing in all this reconciliation. He still thinks that he's owed an apology from Charles and from William for the way they've treated not only him but also Meghan.
And here's the sharpest dagger of all. Meghan Markle, the woman who wanted to be the next Diana, who thought she'd conquer Hollywood and stand as a global icon, is now viewed as manipulative, dishonest, and fading into irrelevance. And the worst part? Once upon a time, Meghan believed she could rewrite history through careful PR. But the curtain has been pulled back. The audience isn't buying it anymore. Hollywood is keeping her at arm's length. The royals have turned their backs. And Bauer? He's just said out loud what millions were already whispering. Meghan's empire isn't built on truth. It's built on lies. And it's collapsing. Fast. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about Meghan. It's about whether lies, contradictions, and spin can really outlast the truth. And if you think Meghan's time is finally up, that the public has stopped buying her act, then you know what to do. Hit that like button, share the word, and stay tuned.